The number one real reason why people fail at starting an Airbnb business, they can't ever get a landlord to say yes. They hear things like, I don't allow short-term rentals because I don't want my property trashed, it sounds too risky, and they're scared of not getting monthly payments on time. But here's the secret, most landlords don't say no because they hate Airbnb, they say no because you're pitching them the wrong way. Now today, I'm gonna show you exactly how to approach landlords, how to get a yes, even if they say no at first, and how to handle their objection. At the end of this video, you're gonna have my exact landlord pitching script, so make sure that you watch till the end of this video. Now, before the pitch, we have to understand why landlords even reject Airbnb. Number one, they think it's too risky. Number two, they're afraid of not getting payments on time. And number three, they're not sure what you're doing is even properly legal. Usually the biggest fear for landlords is having random strangers that are gonna ruin the property. So all you have to do is learn to explain to them on how you have a professional cleaning team that cleans after every guest that checks in and checks out. That way the property is always in tip-top shape and is always maintained the right way. Another fear that they have is they don't understand how an Airbnb works. This is where you have to come in as a professional and educate them on how you actually operate, where you have professional cleaning teams, you get short-term rental insurances, you're operating the right way, you're vetting your guests before someone can book your property. As long as you outline these things and educate them on this, they're gonna feel a lot more comfortable saying yes to you and you getting this property under a subleasing contract. Once you understand their real concerns, it's a lot easier to pitch them the right way. That way, instead of getting no's, you're actually gonna be able to get yeses as long as you go through enough numbers. Now, in this segment, I'm gonna share with you guys how to find the right landlords that you have a good chance of actually getting a yes with. So what you're gonna wanna do now is when you go on Zillow.com, you're gonna put number one for rent. Number two, you're gonna look for a certain market price that you wanna look for rent. Let's just say you're looking for properties between $2,000 rent and $3,000 rent. And then you wanna structure the bedrooms and bathrooms. So maybe you're looking for at least a 3-bedroom, minimum 2-bathroom. And then what you also wanna do is under keywords, at the bottom, you're gonna be able to put in a keyword, and in that section, you wanna put in property owner. Now what's gonna happen is when you see all these Zillow listings, majority of these Zillow listings are gonna have the property owner's phone number. That way, instead of reaching out to brokerages, management companies, listing agents, you're able to directly talk with the property owner and get a yes or no answer as long as you're using the right pitching script, which at the end of this video, I'm gonna share that with you guys. Your success rate will definitely go way higher as long as you follow the last steps that I just gave you. Now, let's talk about how to actually pitch the landlords so that they actually say yes. Most beginners get rejected right away because this is what they say. Hey landlord, can I rent your property on Airbnb? Within the first 10 seconds, they usually get shut off because that's the wrong approach that you do not want to use. Instead, you want to use this proven pitch that's in fact got me and my students properties in under 30 days. Now, I'm gonna share with you guys the exact approach that I would use to actually get a landlord to say yes. So this is exactly how I would go about pitching the landlord. Let's just say their name is John. I would give the landlord a call. Hey John, I'm looking at your property here at 123 Main Street. Is this still available? The landlord's probably gonna say yes. Once they say that, this is where you wanna ask a few basic questions. For example, I would ask them, hey, how far is this from downtown or maybe the beach? I would ask them, hey, is this property furnished or unfurnished? I would ask them, how soon can someone get into the property? And then I would be asking them two golden questions. How long are they looking for a lease term? Are they looking for a 12-month, 24-month? What are they looking for? And then the main golden question that you guys need to ask them is, hey landlord, assuming we do sign a 1-year lease that you're looking for, would you at all be opposed to letting us sublease this on a short-term basis? Is that something that you would be open to? Now, this is where you want to pause for a few seconds and just wait for their response. They're usually going to say one of three things. Hey, yes, I'm open to that. Number two, hey, no, I'm not looking for short-term rentals at all. Or number three, hey, I would be open to that. Can you explain a little bit more? Now, if they ask you to explain a little bit more, this is where you go into details saying, hey, the way we run our business is we would sign a 12-month lease with you, just like a regular tenant, but we would need your permission to be able to sublease this property as a short-term rental. We have professional cleaning teams in place. We have a professional handyman. We get short-term rental insurances, so you're always protected. Once you get that confirmation that they're open to the idea, you can go inspect the property or have someone from your team go inspect the property. As long long as everything looks good, you get the leasing contract, you make sure that these things are in place, that you legally can operate this property as a short-term rental. You can change the door lock to a keyless entry. And if God forbid something happens to the property where you can't run it as a short-term rental anymore, that you can legally get out of that contract without any termination fees. As long as those things are in place, you could go ahead and sign the lease, and boom, now you're into your first Airbnb property that you're legally running the right way. Now, here's exactly why this works. Number one, you sound like a business and not a risky tenant. Number two, you address all their concerns up front and very clearly. And number three, you keep it open-ended so they always feel like they also have control. If you have ever called landlords and struggled to handle their objections, I'm gonna break down exactly how I've handled objections in the past. So for example, what if they tell you I don't allow Airbnb? You let them know, hey, Airbnb is just one of the platforms that you leverage, but you also use other platforms, and you also mostly have travel nurses, working professionals, business clients, military men that are coming in for visiting, so these are professionals staying at the property. Another common objection is that they don't want their property damaged. So in these cases, what you want to let them know is that you always have short-term rental insurance at every property that you rent. They're not ever liable for any TVs, couches, beds, hole in the wall, these things breaking, because that's your liability. But again, you get short-term rental insurance to protect yourself. As far as the major stuff like AC breaking down, heating breaking down, those things the landlord's still responsible for, but that's normal for any landlord when they rent a property to a tenant. And another common objection you might handle is they're scared of what if they don't get paid their rent on time. This is where you have to feel comfortable that you know how to research and analyze a deal, and you let them know that, hey, no matter the situation, you're guaranteeing them to pay rent every single month on the first of the month, because you know how to actually run this as a proper business. So as long as you've mastered these responses, you'll be able to turn your nose to a yes and constantly get new properties that are Airbnb approved because you learned how to pitch the right way. Here's what I want you to do next. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram so you can watch my daily Airbnb content, and like and comment if you have any questions. That way I can personally answer them in the comment section.